everybody. Today I'm going to be giving my guide on building a tank and what I recommend for a tank setup. Alright, so I'm just going to go over a lot of the basics, and I'm going to go over gear, stats, CP, champion points, gear, etc. So to start off, I'm going to go over the class and the race that I prefer. Honestly, I think the tank is the best one to recommend, and that is what I am currently running. And the Argonian, because the Argonian is rated number 1 for tank builds, because every time you pop a potion, it doubles. OP, alright? Sweet. If you don't want to be an Argonian, Imperial is next, and I believe Nord is 3rd in the best rating for tanks. Now, if we go in to character, I've put all of my attribute points into health. The more health, the better your tank. You're going to be beefy. Also, it's just nice. With the build I'm going to give you, your sustain for resources is going to be outright insane. So yeah. Next, we have our potions and our food. For our food, we're using Bewitched Sugar Skulls, which you could either make them yourselves, you could buy them from the guild traders, or you can have a friend make them for you. They're pretty nice to have. They increase your max health, max stam, and max magicka, and increase your health recovery for 2 hours. And it scales off your level. Currently, this is one of the best rated food for a tank. Really, 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 really nice. Now, for the potions, I use the Tri-Stat Restoration Potions. They restore health, magicka, and stamina, and increase the recovery of health, magicka, and stamina. You can use the crown ones, or you could use the crafted ones. Keep in mind that the crown ones are slightly better than the crafted ones. They give you about 100 extra health. So, everything's about 100 extra on the crown. So that is what I use. Now, if you want to know how to make the Tri-Stat Restoration Potions, if you just run over to your alchemy station, create potent solvent, you're going to want your highest level one. Then it is bug loss, columbine, and then mountain flower. And that is going to give you your Tri-Stat potions. Alright? Endurance, intellect, health. Really, really nice. Sweet. Alright. Now I'm going to go over your skills really quick. I'm going to go over all of them at once, and then I'm going to tell you each one what they are, their morph, and where they're located. And some of them I'll explain why I prefer that combo. I basically have my main bar is my main tank, my backup bar is my off tank. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so now if we go ahead and get started into skills. Alright, so I have Green's Dragon Blood, Igneous Shields, Heroic Slash, Pierce Armor, Absorb Missile, and Shield Discipline on my main bar. On my back bar, I have Overflowing Altar, Choking Talons, Inner Rage, Unrelenting Grip. This one you could kind of put whatever you want in there. I have this one to increase my DPS for a couple of seconds, so when I'm solo playing Overland, I'm not taking 6 hours on a single boss. Because at the same time, you're a tank, you're designed to be beefy and take a beating, not give a beating. And for the ulti on this side, I'm using Magma Shell. Alright, so, Green's Dragon Blood. It is in your Draconic power, and it is a morph to Dragon Blood. Alright, this works really, really well with Igneous Shields, and I'll get to that in a second. Anyways, it heals you for 39% of your missing health, and increases your healing received by 8% for 20 seconds. Alright. That is insane as it stands there, okay? That is your heal. And it is your... This should pretty much be running the entire time you're fighting. You should pretty much never let that run out. It lasts about for 11-15 seconds, sometimes 20 or longer. Basically, never let it run out. If you're doing it right, it'll keep going. Block, you're getting increased healing from everybody who's healing you, and when you heal yourself. Alright, really nice. Now, the next one is Igneous Shields, and that is going to be in the Earthen Heart. Now, the reason I say this is really, really good with Greed's Dragon Blood is because, well, for starters, it gives you a damage shield, okay, that absorbs 8,000 damage, and it scales off your maximum health. Alright, on top of that, it increases your healing done by 25% for 3 seconds, okay? So, you essentially can get down to 2% health, go Igneous Shields, Green's Dragon Blood, and heal for about 35 to 50% of your health. Alright, really, really crazy. Alright, next skill is your Heroic Slash. That is going to be in your Sword and Board. It morphs as Lower Slash or Low Slash, and you want to morph it to Heroic Slash. Okay? The reason being is you're going to gain Heroism, and it increases damage done, and reduces the damage they do. Okay? Really nice, and it's stamina. Sweet, sweet. Now, for the bread and butter of all tanks is your taunt, and you are going to want Pierce Armor. And that is the morph to Puncture. Alright? This is also in the Sword and Board skill line. Okay? This is going to reduce their physical and spell resistance by 5,000 for 15 seconds. Okay? So the entire time that you've punctured them and the entire time that they're taunted, their resistances have dropped. Yay! Weaker enemies, right? Cool, cool. Alright, and the next one is Absorb Missile. That is the morph to Defensive Posture. Basically, you give yourself a damage shield equal to 13,000 damage for 6 seconds. While the shield is running, or every time you activate it, if you are hit with the next direct projectile attack, you heal for 8,000 health. Okay? You see an archer going to shoot you with an arrow. Okay, I'm not going to take damage, instead I'm going to heal. Sweet. You gained health instead of losing health. Or you're in a fight with a lot of people, you're struggling to survive, you've popped your Igneous Shields, you've popped your Green's Dragon Blood, you're still going really, really low. Defensive Posture. There you go. You got some health. Really, really nice. Alright. The next one is going to be Shield Discipline, and it is a morph of Shield Wall and the ultimate abilities of One-Handed Shield or Sword and Board. Basically, it is a shield that you can use. Okay, you have your shield up, but now you still can attack. You could still pop other abilities and not stop blocking while it is running. Okay, you could also use that to res an ally. Okay. Really, really nice, really, really, really useful. I know a lot of people don't really get into situations like where you have to res somebody. Okay, if you don't think you need to use it, then go ahead and get something else like Warhorn or whatever. This is just what I'm suggesting. Alright, now onto the back bar we have Overflowing Altar, which is going to be in your Undaunted skill line, and it starts out as Blood Altar. Sacrifice a portion of your health to heal your allies with a grand AoE. Your allies can synergize off of it, healing themselves for 65% of their max health. OP. Again, I use this as my back bar or for when I am off tanking. Alright? Alright. Now, the next one is your Choking Talons. Okay? And that one's going to be in Draconic Power. Is that got my sneeze? Nope, I'm good. Alright. Hang on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Alright, Choking Talons. Basically, you can hold all your enemies in one place, and it creates a soft taunt. So all your enemies that you have choked or got stuck are temporarily stuck to you. Really, really nice. Does extra damage, blah, blah, blah. Holds your enemies in place. Really nice for your DPS. Cool? Cool. Alright, the next one is going to be Inner Rage, and that one is also on your Undaunted bar, and this is your back bar range taunt. You should have a taunt on your front bar and a taunt on your back bar. Inner Rage is your range taunt, okay? That's pretty much all there is to it. It's a range taunt, okay? Inner Rage is the preferred one for tanks, okay? Deals magical damage and deals additional damage over time, and you taunt them. Sweet. Cool. Next one is going to be your Unrelenting Grip, and that is going to be an Ardent Flame. And you want to use Unrelenting Grip, and the morph for this is, and it's the morph of Fiery Grip. Alright. This, you want Unrelenting Grip, because if in the event that you are not able to pull the enemy to you, you get 100% of the resources you spent on it returned. Okay? Really, really nice, because believe it or not, your resources are your life. Okay? And potions, shield wall, everything that can help you with resource sustain, you want. Alright? Really, really OP. Okay. That is basically my back bar, and then obviously Magma Shell, which is the morph of Magma Armor. Okay? Alright. So, that is the gear, and that is the spells. My R1, Flurry, you could change it to whatever you want. You could find another DPS, another skill, another tank skill, another healing skill, whatever you want, you could just throw into that one. Alright. So now we have our skills done. We have our character. We have our attribute points. And food and potions, okay? So, the next thing I'm going to go over is armor, and the recommended armor that I suggest. And I suggest a 2-to-1 ratio on armor. And now you guys are like, probably thinking, that's not that 5-to-1, 5-1-1 ratio I'm not hearing about. It's because I'm talking about a different ratio. I'm talking about 2 non-selfish sets and 1 selfish set, okay? So, for example, if I were to go into here, Mighty Chudden, completely selfish, doesn't give anything to the group, okay? So I could put Lord Warden on. Alright? That is a group beneficial set. It gives them resistances, increases group resistances. Cool. Yolokrin, really nice set. It debuffs the boss, basically, and buffs your group. Decreases the damage your boss or whoever you're taunting is doing, and increases your own damage, and it reduces the damage that the bosses and stuff do to you in trials, dungeons, and arenas. Okay, that is a non-selfish set because you're helping out your group. Your Warden is a non-selfish set because you're helping out the group. And then for me, I will usually run Leeching Ward as an alternative selfish set. Basically, you create a cloud. You have a chance to create a cloud which deals 1300 poison damage every 1 second for 5 seconds and heals you for 100% of the damage caused. A cloud can be created once every 5 seconds. So, in theory, you could have a cloud running 24/7. Okay? Not literally, but in theory you could. Again, I usually don't like to run Leeching Plate if I'm fighting a single dragon on its own. I will usually switch it out to Fortified Brass. Armor rating is resistances and everything. Okay? The higher your resistances are, the better. Alright? But usually if I'm going up against like 4-man content where I go through a bunch of ads, just run straight to the boss, I will run Leeching. Typically my rule of thumb is if you have 5 or less ads, don't run it. Chances of proccing are really, really low. But when you do run Leeching Plate, which I'll show you in a minute, it is really OP. Okay? Now typically you want to have your monster set. Okay? And you want to have your body pieces, Yolokrin, and your jewelry, Alkosh or Leeching or whatever. Okay? Now, enchantments.
You want to typically have the tri-stat or the tri-effect enchantment, which increases your maximum health, maximum stamina, and maximum magicka. Okay, remember what I was saying earlier? Resources are key to a tank's survival, alright? So basically you want to have this on all of the heavier rated armor. So the armor rating that's like 325, 18, anything really high, or if you really want to, you can put it on everything. It's really useful for all of that. Now, for your traits, I suggest doing reinforced because it increases your armor value. And like I was saying, armor value is everything. Alright? Armor value, everything. It's your resistances, okay? So, armor value. Unless it is only got armor value of 1,000, then I suggest doing sturdy, where it will then, let me get one, where it will then reduce the cost of block. Really, really nice. Alright? Which means you can block for a longer period of time. Alright, so now that we've gone over gear, traits, and stuff, I'm going to head to a place and show you the OP aspect of leeching plate and this current setup. And while I'm doing that, I will also go over CP points, okay? Alright, so I'm back, and I am in Skyreach. A lot of people are like, well, you're Skyreach, everybody can do Skyreach. True and not true. Skyreach is really, really done, and Skyreach carries, and notorious for Skyreach carries and leveling up. Alright, and usually if you get a Skyreach carry, you want to have a person that has high DPS, okay? You rarely ever want to have a tank go in with you because they will never be able to kill them fast enough. But I'm just coming in here to show you the aspect of sustain on a tank without pushing any buttons. Now, in reality, you're not really ever going to have this many ads, okay? But it's coming to show you the aspect that, like, as a tank, you can become really, really beefy, and you will be just fine. Alright, so now let's stand right here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. Now, while I'm standing here, I'm just gonna go through my CP points with you guys, alright? And I'm just gonna tell you straight up, do not worry about the red zone. If you're really, really big into end game content, do not worry about the red section in your champion points, because you are going to change that a lot, okay? Because every trial has different aspects. Some of them are spell based, some of them are physical based, some of them are poison based, some of them are disease based, etc., etc. And therefore you want to get the maximum resistances or damage mitigation. Alright, and that you can just look up on Outcast, which is really awesome. Alright, so we're going to start in the Thief on the tower, okay? And you are going to want to have 56 points into Warlord, okay? And this is going to reduce the cost of all of your stamina abilities, okay? All of them, spells and abilities, by 20.15%. Really, really nice. Alright. Next is going to be in the Lover under the Thief, and you want to have 75 points in Arcanist. It is going to increase your magicka regeneration by 14%, okay? Resources are key, like always, and Greed's Dragon Blood is magicka based. Alright. Tendency, you want to have 64 points, and this is going to increase the amount of magicka and stamina your heavy attacks do. Alright, so let me block for a second. Watch my stamina go down. Alright. Smack. We got a half it back. Smack, got another half back. Okay. Increase your resistances back, or resources back. Alright. The next one is going to be under the Shadow, and you're going to want to have 66 points into Shadow Ward, which is going to reduce the cost of block by 22%. Okay? Again, you're a tank, you like to block. Really, really nice. Alright, and then you're going to want 9 points in tumbling. Okay? Reduces the stamina cost of roll dodge. Okay? Reduces the cost of roll dodge. Alright. And that will be everything you're going to want to put into the thief. Under the mage, you're going to want to have 75 into blessed. Okay, this increases the effectiveness of any healings you initiate. So your Green's Dragon Blood, Igneous Shields, Green's Dragon Blood. All right, it's a healing ability, really OP. Okay, Elfborn, you're going to want 51 points in, and this is going to increase your spell critical damage and healing. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but Green's Dragon Blood runs off a crit scale, okay? And now because you have the 75 points in Blessed and the 51 points in Elfborn, you have Vengeance under the unlockable skills, which guarantees that your next spell will be a critical hit when you block 3 spells, okay? So you have a magic guy attacking you, block 1, 2, 3, Igneous Shields, Green's Dragon Blood, crit heal for about 60 to 70% of your missing health. Insane. Alright? OP. Alright. Next is going to be under the Atronach, and you're going to just want 3 in physical weapons expert. And this is just going to increase your damage done with anything, okay? Alright, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra damage, okay? Alright, after that is going to be the Ritual, and you are going to want to have 66 points into Thaumarage, and this is going to increase your damage done with overtime effects. Leeching is an overtime effect. Igneous Shields. Ooh, I didn't even need to do that. Alright, but Leeching is a damage over time, okay? It's an AoE. Alright. Helps with that. Mighty, you're going to want to have 75 points in, okay? And that increases your physical, poison, and disease damage, okay? Leeching is a disease, okay? So this is increasing the damage so you can heal for more, alright? And you want to have 75 points into Mighty, alright? Alright, so those are the CP points that you want to kind of have set into a stone, alright? You want to kind of like engrave those in. Now your red ones I won't go over with because they are always changing, alright? But like I said, this is a really OP build. Like a lot of people don't give it credit for. It is good for both PvE and PvP. Alright, player versus entity and player versus player. Alright. It is really nice. You can do it a lot. Alright. So, I think I've gone over everything as far as skills, CP, gear, class, race, food, potions, attribute points, etc. If you guys liked the video, have any questions, advice, or comments, or if you guys are confused on anything, go ahead and please leave a comment in the description below, or in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys all.